What's up, guys? Welcome back to Sunday Sports Club Podcast, a podcast all about sports told by a woman. And today we have on a special guest. We have on Daisy Foko Granson. It's crazy because the last time I saw you, you were just Daisy Foko.
It's true.
Yeah,
so much has changed. I'm married now.
So actually, Daisy's husband and my husband played football for the Colts together. And that's how we ever first met. But I haven't seen you since...
Literally 4 years, I think.
That's wild.
I know.
It's crazy because I feel like football, like... It'll bring people together and they're like super close knit, and then you might not see them again for like years.
Yeah, they're across the country all of a sudden. You're like, I hope I see you soon.
Yeah. But I feel like the longer you're in the NFL also, like you get to know more and more people. And you're like, wait, I think I have a friend on every single team at this point.
Me too, yeah. And you're like, oh yeah, you guys all know each other. Yeah.
Exactly. So her husband is Kylen Granson, and remind me the position he plays.
He's a tight end, and he also does a lot of special teams stuff.
I was gonna say he's kind of like all over the place.
He is. He's like, he really does like whatever they ask, and he's like, all right, I'll walk in.
Exactly. And he plays for the Eagles now.
He does.
How long has he been playing for the Eagles?
This is his first contract with the Eagles, so this is his second NFL contract.
Okay. So then he's been in the NFL how much?
This is year 5.
Year 5.
So when you and Isaac were on the Colts, that was our first year.
Okay, this is reminding me, and that was our year 5.
Yes. So look at the symmetry.
Exactly. I'm like, look at us now. I'm like, now Isaac's retired. We have a full-blown child. You guys are married. Okay, so I want to jump into everything.
Okay.
Literally, Daisy walked in the door. I was like, put on headphones because we have just like so much to catch up on. So for anybody meeting you for the first time, how do you explain like what you do for work? Your story, like give us like the overall gist, like who's Daisy?
Okay, I would say, so what I usually tell people is I'm a content creator first, and then I'm also an inventor. I do a lot of stuff in the STEM space, which is like kind of a weird little second job that I have because they don't really seem that related. I'm kind of all over the place, and I would say like I've just embraced this role, and I just kind of do whatever I feel like I'm doing that day, you know?
I love that. And I feel like it also allows you to be super flexible, like being able to like quote unquote follow your husband. I hate when people are like, oh, you follow your husband. I'm like, well,
don't make me sound
married.
Like a piece of luggage.
Like we're making the decision to move, yes, to follow somebody's job, and I get to do what I want to do. That's awesome. So because when you were like explaining like the first time we ever met, I think it was at oh my gosh, who was the quarterback at the time?
Oh, it was oh my gosh, it was Maddie Wentz.
Yes,
she did that welcome party.
Okay, so she threw a welcome party, and I remember like getting thrown in, and I was like, oh god, I don't know anybody. That was my first time being at like a new team, so I was like, oh, I need to like learn everybody's name. I need to make like note cards and figure everything out. But you explained that you had gone to college for like engineering, or you were like, I was like, wow, this girl's like really fucking smart.
You're the first wag I met, by the way, like ever. And I was like, oh my God, she's so tall and hot and blonde. This is exactly what I expected.
You probably walked away and you're like, yeah, there's not a lot going on up there. Like this might be. Oh my gosh.
No,
that's
I actually
hilarious.
felt a lot more like secure when we met, because I was like, oh, she's like a normal person. Like, thank God. Like, I wasn't sure what I was expecting. I mean, in retrospect, it seems kind of silly because I was like, I was so nervous. I think that's like the only time in my life I felt like socially insecure.
Oh, yeah.
And then I met you and I was like, okay, there's normal people. It's going to be fine.
Well,
like, she's nice.
Funny you say that because like I was wildly insecure as well, because it's like a lot of pressure just going into a group of like women who might already be established in like friend groups and like their husbands already get along. And you're like, oh, like I just moved here. Like,
where do I fit?
Welcome to Indiana. It's like, it's interesting hearing your perspective that you're like, oh yeah, I walked into that situation, was like probably like anxious.
Yeah.
I walked into that situation and I was like, I don't want to be here because I don't want to like have to like hold conversations and like somebody doesn't like me and I just like have to sit there and just like pretend that they like me. I don't know. But honestly, like that team, it worked out so well. Like I feel like all of the wives actually kind of like meshed together. It was like very like organic. Nobody, there were like never cliques or like nothing was ever forced.
Yeah, it was actually really cohesive, and I feel like it gave me like a way more grounded NFL experience than maybe if I went to one of like the crazier teams that are like a little more infamous to start. You know, I feel like the Midwest is a little bit slower, a little bit more calm, like a little, everyone just had kids and was kind of doing their own thing. Like it was a lot more chill than I expected.
It was super, I don't know if it's because it was like, we're in Indiana, it's the Midwest. Like it was extremely chill.
Yeah.
And that is something that I do really like value about that team. And like, especially like when we were there, it just felt like chill and like nothing felt pressured and like there weren't cliques. And now on the Eagles, like how do you compare those experiences? Because I feel like the Eagles are a little bit more like not flashy, but their fan base is way different.
They're a little flashy. It's definitely like a vastly different experience. The thing I would say is like a point of commonality is it's also not cliquey, which is good because I know we've all heard the horror stories of like some teams being like super cliquey.
You're not allowed to be you're what is it? You're not allowed to be in our friend group unless your husband gets paid like over a certain amount.
Yeah, so like I wasn't sure. I remember reaching out at the very beginning to Nikki Mulata and being like, "Hey, or no, it was Brooke Dickerson. I was like, "Hey, is there a group chat? Could you add me?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'll add you right now." And I was like, "Oh, thank God," because like some of them with the group chat, it's like, we're gonna wait till after fall camp, see if you stay here.
You're like, please. Oh my God, it is crazy because probably every NFL team has a wives or girlfriends group chat.
Yeah,
just to like coordinate, like, oh, here's our holiday party, here's our like this is the open practices, or like what have you
here's
not?
childcare resources.
Yes.
Like here's where I get my nails done.
I will never forget getting kicked out of one of those group chats. When Isaac, he got cut and put on practice squad, I was like, he's still on the team. Like, I'm just like,
they kicked you out for when he got put on practice
yes.
squad? That's so mean.
No, yeah, it was,
the heck?
I was like, honestly, I don't want to be here anyway. It's fine.
That's so rude, actually.
I will never forget that. But honestly, looking back, I'm like, it was character development.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you're like, okay, I can handle this sort of pushback, I guess. I mean, like the older I get, the more I feel like any form of rejection is like an opportunity to end up being more grounded in yourself.
Yes.
You know? And so I guess that's one of those opportunities, but it still sucks.
I like that way of you looking at it. It's definitely me being like, okay, I'm going to cry about this. And then I'm going to
I would
like
have cried. It's not just you. I would have also cried.
Well, I'm just like, then you have to like show up at the games. You're like, well, I'm still doing the things.
Yeah, like I still have to see you guys every week. Are you gonna not want to hang out with me now? Like, what does this mean? Like,
no, but when he got put back on the 53-man roster, they didn't put me back in the group chat.
You? That's so rude. That's really rude.
Honestly, it's fine. I think every team, as long as I have like one person that I can talk to or hang out with or like just get coffee, like something very normal, I'm like, okay, like that's all I need.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not like a needy person where I'm like, I need to be at every function. Like I'm going to have FOMO if I'm not. It's like, I just want to feel included sometimes.
Yeah, I want the opportunity to get to go or to not go. And like, I think also with our jobs, if you don't want to go to certain things, it's a little easier to be like, sorry, I can't go. I'm
You're like,
doing something else.
I'm busy.
And then everyone's like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like, yeah, because it's a forward facing job. So it's a little easier. If you have like a more internal job where you're like a nurse or something, people are also like, oh yeah, I mean, I guess you have to do a 24-hour shift. Like that's fair. But
yes,
we have a little bit more of the benefit of like, and then you saw me at work.
Yes, and then you know exactly what I did yesterday because I posted it all over social media.
Yes.
Like what a joy. Okay, so you mentioned that you're like a little bit of an inventor. So I want to take a step back because you went through major spinal surgery and you were on bed rest for an entire year.
Yeah, I had to relearn how to walk. I got down to like 97 pounds and like I'm also tall. We're both tall girls. Like the surgery made me 4 inches taller overnight. So I was like 5'10".
Wait, really?
Yes. That was one of the signs that I needed it. And everyone thought I was like crazy because I was like, I swear to God, I'm shrinking. And everyone was like, you're not shrinking. I was like, I swear that I am. And I was because my spine was like descending. So I actually was shrinking. So when they straighten it out, it's like pasta, like pre-cooked versus post-cooked. I was like all straight.
Is wild.
I know. It was very disconcerting. I realized because I had always been kind of short, like, oh my God, the world is really not built for tall people. These counters are so low. Railings are freaking me out now. Like, I feel like I'm going to fall over everything. Like, what the hell?
You're like, wow, I have a whole new... I bet you there's short people out here listening that are like, maybe I should make sure that I don't need spinal surgery.
Honestly, get checked, bro.
Right? But how was bed rest for an entire year?
It was honestly terrible because like I found out that I needed the surgery when I was 19 because I went to Six Flags and you're not supposed to do that if you have severe scoliosis.
If you have something wrong with your
there's
back.
actually signs everywhere because every time I tell the story, people are like, you should sue Six Flags, you get a ton of money. I would get nothing because they literally have signs all over the park.
You're like,
that
no, it was
warn
me.
you. It was me. I just didn't know I was breaking the rules. There's signs that are like, if you're pregnant, have spinal issues or heart issues, don't get on the ride. And I didn't know. And I was dating this total douche at the time who like really sucked. Yeah. And we were on like what I believed to be a double date. Actually, he was trying to get the other girl's attention. So I was like not really understanding why I was there.
You're like, I wasn't
terrible.
picking up on the
No, I missed that whole
Yeah.
factor until like they went off and did their own thing and he was pissy the whole time. And we went on a roller coaster and I fainted on the roller coaster. And normally I love roller coasters and like I don't have any sort of reaction to them. So I was like, I don't think I should be going on more roller coasters, honestly. Like, that was kind of weird. And he was already feeling really rejected. So he was like, no, I'm not going to be going on this park, like, all these rides alone. Like, you have to keep coming with me. So I passed out 32 times.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because I was 19. He was way older than me. And so it was like,
you're like, I just feel like
thing.
pressured.
I felt really pressured. And so by the end, you know, we got back together with the other couple who was like my best friend also. And she was like, oh my God, we need to go home. Like, you're not okay. And I was like, thank you. Like, let's go.
You're like, wow, I'm not being gaslit. Oh yeah, this is not normal.
Yeah, no, it's not normal. And so she like swept in, took care of me, was like, we're leaving right now. And then I was like, I had to lie in the dark for like 10 days because my head hurt so bad and I could like barely see anything. And my parents were really worried. We had this guy who lived behind us who my dad had done a lot of patent work for, who's an ear doctor, but he actually had done a lot of work in the neurology space.
Oh, okay.
He's like actually super interesting, Dr. Slater, if anyone wants to look him up. But he went and saw me because like all the other doctors weren't really sure what was wrong. They were just like, oh, probably like a severe migraine. And my mom was like, no.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I think you have benign intracranial hypertension, which is when you have a bunch of spinal fluid pressing against your brain. Wow. And so he had it like drained, like you take medication and it drains it. And then he was like, okay, you should be feeling a little bit better now, but I don't know why that happened. I just know that's what was obviously going on. And my mom took me to a bunch of doctors. No one could figure it out. And then eventually she just was like, okay, I'm sending you to Massage Envy. Shout out to Massage Envy. But she was like, I'm sending you to Massage Envy to get you some sort of relief. And the lady who did my massage was a retired nurse. And she was like, hey, we're not supposed to comment on people's bodies, but your back is like so messed up. Like you need to get an x-ray like today. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah, girl, like really.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. So I went and got an x-ray. I had a 47-degree curve. It was crazy.
Wait, that's actually what?
It was severe.
Yeah.
It was really severe. So I probably already had like some scoliosis before because I'd grown like a foot that year. Like I had like an extreme growth spurt. So like my spine was kind of like jelly, I guess. Mm-hmm. And so then the roller coaster just like made it way worse, like ripped it even more out of alignment. And then they were like, you have to have emergency surgery, which for spinal surgery means like a year from now. But you have to do PT and all this stuff. So I was at acting school at the time, so I had to wake up really early to do like dance and vocal lessons and stuff. So I had to wake up at 5 a.m., do physical therapy, then go in and do acting all day. And I was on a heart monitor because my spine was like crushing my heart. My left lung had like diminished capacity. It was beeping all the time because I couldn't get like an expensive one. So it was like really embarrassing. And then I had the surgery. The surgery itself was a success. But then I had a ton of complications. Your recovery is usually not supposed to be a year, but I had so many problems after the fact. Like my organs got impacted and like they almost exploded, which is crazy. And they were giving me way too much morphine because like I over metabolized drugs and no one checked that in advance. So then I stopped taking the morphine because they put me in charge of my own medicine because I was like paranoid and convinced someone was like poisoning me because I felt like sick all the time. And so then after that, I had like severe withdrawals, which caused a failure to thrive. So I lost like 30 pounds in 10 days and totally lost my ability to walk just because my legs didn't have enough muscle after that to like hold me up.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It was crazy. Like you could see, I've never been a flat-chested person, not to be too visceral with it, but like you could see my ribs through like my areolas, which is like how thin I got. It was really disgusting. And so I had to relearn how to walk with my dad. Like it was too hot for me to go outside because I was already
like,
so delicate.
I got to teach you how to walk twice.
Yeah, exactly. No, he would always say that. It was actually really cute. And so we would walk at nighttime, like on this like flat part of our neighborhood. And then we decided I was finally back to normal walking when I could walk long enough that my dog would get tired.
Okay.
And he was like, okay, like you're ready. And then I went off to college.
Your
And was
dog's like, why am I the deciding factor?
The metric here.
Yeah.
But I went back to college and I decided after like having such like a traumatic experience that I wanted to be near my brother because he was gone for that whole time. And like we've always been very close. We're like close in age. So I switched from acting because I would have had to start the program over because it was a conservatory program and it was really competitive and they'd cut 2 students every year. So
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was really intense. So instead of them cutting
again, I don't deal well with like someone telling me no or like
exactly.
you can't be here.
So it was a really intense program, and instead of them cutting someone else when I had to leave, you know, like I was the one who like got cut effectively. So because I had to like pull out of school, so I was like, I'm not gonna start over college from like freshman year over this. So I just switched to multidisciplinary studies with an emphasis on engineering and design.
Which is like so different.
It's
than
so different.
What you were originally trying to do.
Well, it was because I spent my whole bed rest being like, my new spine sucks. Like someone should design this better. This sucks so hard.
Right.
And so I was like, that's going to be like my plan. And that's how I got interested in like biomedical tech.
Which is crazy. And then talk to me about the 2 patents you filed.
So my first patent is very 19-year-old style patent because it's a weed patent.
Okay.
So it's like a tube of lipstick where, and I smoked a lot at that time or like took edibles as like a pain management option.
I think that's like the reason, like when I think it should be legalized, like that's the reason I think of because I'm like morphine or like narco
so
compared
severe.
to like a plant.
It really like did so much damage to my body to this day. Like my parents like were like begging the doctors like, can we just put her on like a marijuana drip and like put THC directly into her stomach? And they were like, it's not allowed. So I made
Your dad's like, I'll be right back.
Yeah, my dad was like, BRB. So I made a tube of lipstick where like the wax of the lipstick is THC, or it can be like non-weed stuff. Like you put like melatonin in there if you want. And then it has like a bottom compartment that like you press it and it pops out and it turns into like the piece where you can put the wax into it. And it's like childproof. It's like fully sealable. It's odorless and you can like store flour in there if you want to. It's like a Swiss Army knife for weed, basically.
Kind of love that.
Incognito mode.
Crazy.
We have a chapstick version for men if they feel like emasculated by the lipstick for some reason. Like relax, but
like, wait, Isaac had lipstick in his car the other day. No. And then what's the second one?
The second one is actually Kylen inspired because it was my COVID project. I was like, I want to do something that could like
everybody
help
has a
football
COVID
players.
project.
Yeah, and that was mine.
Well, I'm like some people make banana bread or sourdough, and then you made a patent.
Yeah, exactly. So I came up with the easiest way to describe it is sort of like a Chinese finger trap, but it has barbs on the inside, and it's made of the same material as dissolvable stitches. So your ACL, whenever it tears, the reason why that's so like devastating for athletes is because it's a type of connective tissue that doesn't organically reattach. Like most other connective tissue in your body can sort of like regrow back together, but your ACL can't. So that's why they have to do surgery.
Yeah.
So mine is a stabilizing device. So it goes over the 2 ends that are like ripped apart from each other, and it tricks them into thinking that they're holding on to each other. And in the center, this is actually cool research out of like Harvard. You put a little piece of cotton and you inject the patient's blood into it, and it tricks the tendrils of the torn ligament to thinking they're already connected tenuously. So it grows back together. And then that way you can do PT earlier, you can inject human growth hormones through the barbs, and it's supposed to basically expedite the healing process a lot.
This is wild.
Thank you.
Oh my God. I'm like, wow, I feel like an idiot.
No, you're not an idiot. Come
so
on.
like with that, I feel like you have to have like a certain brain to like be an inventor. You're like, oh, I like want to find a solution, but like I want to like get to the bottom of things. So like now, do you find yourself like still wanting to like create?
Yes, I actually have like 6 more patents pending right now. So once they are a little bit further along,
6? Jesus Christ, like she's busy.
Yeah, I've been grinding this
So when
year.
people are like, oh, what do you do for work? Your husband's in the NFL. You're like,
a lot of stuff.
You're like, I don't know. I just like look at my hair all day.
Like, Pilates.
Wait, that's so crazy. So what is your next invention going to be? Can you like...
I can't get into details of it, but it is like, it's more biomedical stuff, and it's basically a way for people to be able, I'll put it this way. You know how a lot of people don't go to the doctor because they're not convinced something's wrong with them and it's really expensive?
Yes.
So it's a way for you, without going to the doctor, to find out if it's worth the trip, basically, before you have to spend a bunch of money.
Wow.
So that's like before I can't get into details yet, but that's
Yeah.
essentially what it is. It's supposed to be a public good so that people don't have to waste money to find out that they're basically fine or just have like a little headache or whatever, so they can feel confident in spending the money at the doctor's.
Literally, me as a hypochondriac, I'm like, what do you mean?
Exactly.
I go to like the doctor like every day for like what the smallest little thing. You guys, new year, new me. No, not really. But when it comes to fashion, I feel like last year I kind of perfected my like capsule wardrobe closet, but now I feel like I'm really lacking in like accessories and just things that are gonna help elevate my outfit, and that's where Vivrel comes in. If you guys don't know about Vivrel yet, it's a members only club where you can borrow designer bags, jewelry, watches, even diamonds. So think like a rotating closet that you don't have to commit to. And the best part and kind of like what hooked me is that there's no return dates. So you can keep a piece as long as you want, or you can swap it monthly if you're ready for something new. And if you fall in love with something, you can also buy it less than anywhere else. So their classic tier is $139 per month, and it's by far the most popular. Honestly makes sense because like the value you get is kind of wild. And they're constantly refreshing inventory, like actually constantly. So they're adding millions of dollars of new pieces every week. So it feels like you're walking into a new designer boutique filled with like Prada, Fendi, Saint Laurent, Dior, all of the brands that I'm constantly drooling over. So like you literally just pick what you want and it shows up. Feels very surreal. And they just gave me their holiday offer code, which expires at the end of the month. So if you've been curious or waiting for a sign, you can use my referral code SSC to get your first month of membership completely free. So like now is the time to join. Go to www.vivrel.com and apply for a membership today using code SSC for your first month of membership free. The code will also allow you to skip the Vivrel waitlist. That's VIVRELLE.com and use code SSC for your first month free. Aside from being an inventor, you're also a content creator. And I want to talk more about that because how did you like it kind of that part makes more sense to me. Not that the inventor part doesn't make sense, but like that makes more sense to me that like, oh, you wanted to be like an actor and like you went to school for that. So you have like a very creative side to your brain and you also have this very like analytical, like mathematical side to your brain. So content creating, was that like like you can kind of create whatever you want.
Yeah, you can create whatever you want. And I got like peer pressured into it by my same friend who I was out with Six Flags, who was like, we gotta go.
She's like, this girl's nuts.
This girl's nuts. She was like, you need to get on this thing called TikTok. It was like early TikTok. And I was like, I don't know that I want to go on your weird little music app, Diva.
Okay, yeah, because when I first got like introduced to TikTok, it was like the dances.
It was musically kind of still, you know? And so I was like, I don't really see myself doing that. And she was like, no, you can do other stuff on there. Like, you're so good at telling stories. You should just like go tell stories. Like crazy stuff's always happening to you. And she was bugging me for like months. And she's like really like a dog with a bone about stuff. And so I was like, all right, like what do I have to do to get you off my back, basically?
Yeah.
And she was like, if you post every day for a week, I'll leave you alone. And I was like, okay, whatever, fine. So I did it. And then on day 6, I like posted, went to sleep, and then woke up with like 1.6 million views. And I was like, she was right. Like, I gotta keep doing this, I guess.
You're like, okay, I'll give you a cut.
Yeah, I was like, okay. She was my manager originally, actually, because I was like, you deserve something, you know, we'll do a little give back here. And then I was working at Audi Dallas, like selling cars and doing Postmates on the side. So like all my early TikToks, I'm like in the Audi Dallas bathroom on my lunch break, like filming or like in the rental cars. Cause people were like, what do? You're in a different car every day. And it was cause I was in like all the rental cars, like filming in my off time or whatever.
Oh my God. The lore. People were like, is she like really rich?
Yeah.
Or,
they were like, what is this?
Why does she have like a new car? What is the content that is your favorite to share?
I think that's such a good question. I think my favorite content to share is like about anything super crazy or weird, just because I love seeing like the reaction.
I feel like you have like the conspiracy stories or like the like not even like I don't know, like it's the stories that have like a mystery to them that I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Like of course Daisy's posting
where
this.
You're like, oh my God, that's crazy that happened. Like I had no idea that was like going on. Like I love the niche weird stuff. And then I've been sharing more of my personal life this year, like since we like got engaged. Just because I knew like we'd been together like the whole time I'd had a platform, and like he would pop in and out every once in a while. Like to this day, people are still like, I had no idea you were married to an NFL player because
Right.
it like wasn't a central part of my content for a long time.
Yeah.
Just because like when we were dating, he was still in college, so I wasn't gonna be like, here he is. Like when he would win a game, I'd be like, he won a game, and people would be like, good for you.
Cool.
And that's pretty much it. But like I really blew up on TikTok like 6 months before the draft, and so it was weird because we went from like this like super normal, like neither of us came from like really wealthy families kind of situation to like within like one semester of our life, like it vastly changed for both
I like
of
semester
us.
of our life. That's nice.
Thank you. But like it changed so much, and it was like this giant crazy experience that was like really, I don't know, I feel like I had like imposter syndrome from that.
For sure. Well, because
Yeah.
it's not something that's like gradual. Like if you become a doctor, it's like, well, you've been working your ass off
Yeah.
for like years to get to that place. Whereas I feel like the NFL or even content creation, it's kind of like overnight. And then you're like,
Yeah.
how I like don't feel like this is real, or like I don't feel like I deserve to be here.
Yeah, that was like my strongest feeling about it. Cause like for Kylen, of course, like he's been playing football since he was 3. So
Right.
from his perspective, I'm sure it does feel more gradual, even though it's like you have the one moment
The
where,
lump
like,
sum
you
money
see the
overnight.
money overnight. Like I'll never forget that. Like when he got that lump sum after getting drafted, we were driving from Dallas to Austin, or from Austin to Dallas. And we went into Burger King, which like I hate Burger King, and Kylen loves Burger King. And he was like, you got to get Burger King with me. This is our last broke meal. And I was like, you're right. And so I got like the Impossible Burger, and it made me so sick.
Oh my God. But it is so crazy because the NFL draft is very much like you get a lump sum, like you have a signing bonus and then you have like your salary, but you get your signing bonus when you sign.
Yeah, so it's just like you go from having like maybe $20 in your bank account, because like he was just fully like a college student. I was the only
Yeah.
one who was like working because I dropped out at that time. And so like it went from being like, okay, let's figure out how to make this $200 work for the whole month
Yes.
to like, oh my God, you know?
Yeah. And the weird thing to me about the NFL draft with this is so off topic, but it's like these guys are actually broke unless they have like a wealthy family financially paying for everything. They're kind of like in this like 6-month phase after they leave their college, they're training for the NFL, waiting to get drafted. It's like you're not really getting anything. Whereas I feel like as a college athlete, they were getting like per diem or like trying to live off of like, $1,000 in a month kind of thing.
Yeah, that was how we like did most of our income, because like I wasn't making a ton at like the car dealership, and that's why I was doing Postmates on the side. So really Kylen's like per diem and stuff was like what was paying most of our rent, like our groceries and stuff.
I know some NFL agent or like football agents will sometimes like give them like not like a salary, but like an allowance and be like, oh, like you can pay me back after you get drafted. Like, but here's some money. I remember Isaac, he like didn't own a laptop, and he was like waiting for the NFL draft, and he's like, I can't afford a laptop. And he asked his agent to like get him a laptop. And I think it's so crazy because looking back now, I'm like, wow, like we were in such a different place, and then overnight it changes.
Yeah, it does. Like I remember that last month before the draft, like I had come to Austin to be there while he was training, so I quit working in Dallas, and so I was just doing Postmates, and like I didn't make enough for rent for our apartment we still had in Dallas, and I had to be like, Dad, like, can you give me a few $100s? I will pay you back in like 3 weeks. I promise.
Like, I'll have the money
I
soon.
will. I promise. And he was like, okay, yeah, like I believe Kylen's gonna get drafted. Like I'm happy to help you guys, like so that you don't have to worry about this, and he can just focus. Like this is such like an important time in his life. Like I'll do it. And like I am still so grateful for that, because like I said, like my parents aren't super rich either. So like he really went off on a limb for us there, and I appreciated it.
Like, no. Thank you.
Thank you.
So how did you and Kylen meet?
We met on Tinder, actually, and we were long distance like the first year of our relationship, because he super liked me. I was showing my neighbor in Austin, like visiting my parents, like how to use Tinder, because he was like, I've never used the apps before. So I was like, okay, I'll re-download it and show you, because I was like deeply like, I want to be single at that time in my life.
Which is, I feel like every person in that life stage ends up finding their husband.
Exactly, I swear. And then I was swiping through, and I was like, this guy apparently lives 3 miles from me in Austin. Like, I know like everyone in Austin. I feel like I would have known that this person exists. Like, no way. And so I super liked him back in a rare move from me. Like, I've never super liked anyone.
Like, I might as well. I have
was
nothing
like,
to lose.
I'll do it. Like, he's cute.
You're like, here's an experiment. This is how you super like someone.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, just like that.
Yeah, right?
And then we were supposed to go on a date that Saturday, And then I had to literally like cancel our date last second because my brother had signed up for an internship working in New York to clean oysters in the Hudson because he was like an environmental scientist back then. And I was like, hey, sorry, I can't
That is the most
come.
random shit I've ever
I know.
heard.
Kylen thought I was lying because I was like, sorry, I can't come. I have to drive with my brother to New York to save the oysters, but I'll be back for a wedding in a month if you want to go on a date in a month. And he was like, you could have just said you don't want to go. And I was like, no, I swear, like, I'm coming back.
Like, no, I'm gonna send you a picture of a mother
I will. You're
freaking
gonna
oyster.
see he's like wearing water waders. I promise.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. And then, so then you guys date. So that was in high school.
That was in college.
Okay, college.
Yeah, that was like sophomore year.
And then you guys dated throughout college, and then he gets drafted to the NFL. And then from there, did you immediately move? You immediately moved to Indiana.
I moved after training camp, which I didn't understand the way training camp even works. Like, so when training camp was over, he's like, babe, I made the team. And I was like, yeah, I know. I was at the draft.
You're like, yeah, that's kind of.
Yeah, I was there. I remember.
Like, no, yeah, I put up an Instagram
It was
picture
like the whole
again.
thing. And he was like, no, like you're not officially on the roster until after. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad you didn't tell me that explicitly because I just would have been worried this whole month. And now I totally skipped
You just
that.
like lived in like ignorance,
Yeah, it's
like bliss. It
He's
was, like,
training.
yeah. Like, no, he's on the team.
He's on the team.
You're like, oh, is the roster out yet? You're like, yeah,
he's on it. No, exactly. And so I came right after that. And then the next fall camp, I was like, oh, this is what he was talking about. This is crazy.
You're like, this is because what round did he get drafted?
In the 4th.
Okay, which
Yeah.
I feel like 4th is pretty like
It's pretty
safe.
high. So like he was like, if he wasn't gonna stay there, he was gonna get picked up by someone for sure.
Right.
You know, so
You
it
just
wasn't
didn't
that
know that.
anxiety inducing, but I didn't know that. And so like I think my dad is like a big football guy, was the only one who was like checking in every day to be like, okay, it said he's doing really good. And I was like, of course he is.
You're like,
He's really good.
yeah, that's why he's on the team, Dad.
That's how he got into the NFL.
Your dad is like, okay.
He's like, all right. Like my high school didn't even have like a football team. So like my first football game was like one of Kylen's college games. And
Yeah.
I didn't even understand the difference between offense and defense. And I was like, remember sitting next to his mom one time when defense was out and was like, why don't they just put Kylen in? This is ridiculous.
His mom's like,
And she was like, it's defense right now, honey. And I was like, yeah, okay. And like now I know football like super well and I'm really into
Yes.
it. But like it definitely, I had like a steep learning curve.
there is a learning curve for sure. And I think you don't actually like give a shit until like there's a reason to give a shit.
It's a lot easier to be invested when you like know everyone on the field. Cause like then when the defense is out, I'm like, oh, there's like Brooke and Nikki's husbands. Yay.
Yes.
You know, like I know them. They're nice. Like, you know, it like helps you stay like focused.
For sure. I feel like watching a football game now, I'm like, I need to see one person on the field that like I know, or like I know their story or like something about them, because I'm like, I like to watch one player and then like the rest, I don't know. You like watch a reality show because you're like want to see like one storyline like unfold, but you're like, obviously I'm gonna watch the other.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I got to see what everyone else is doing while I'm here, of
Yeah.
course. But
Right?
yeah, it makes it a lot easier. And like a lot of like my artsy friends are like now like football fanatics because they've
Oh, that's
gotten
fun.
into it from watching Kylen and stuff. So like my whole friend group has like changed to be into sports.
That's incredible. Okay, so he plays for the Eagles now. When did you guys get engaged?
We got engaged on July 21st, 2024. And so we had like about a year-long engagement. We got married on July, oh my God, I almost said July 11th because that's my brother's birthday. We got married on July 12th. Like our rehearsal dinner was on July 11th. And so it was like about exactly like a little bit less than a year later.
Yeah.
And like the wedding planning process was honestly like very chill for us. Like
You guys had a unique wedding,
We
and like I
did.
admire it so much.
Thank you.
So for the people who don't follow you, tell them a little bit about your wedding.
So we got married under dinosaurs in the Field Museum in Chicago. And it was like, I don't know, like I was never someone who had like a Pinterest board growing up for like what I wanted my wedding to be like. And like
Yeah.
we were dating for such a long time that like you would think I would have had some sort of plan, but I really didn't. So before we got engaged, I was like, man, I don't even know what like the vibe of my wedding's gonna be. And then the second we got engaged, I was like, actually, it turns out I have a very clear and super distinct vision. And
You're
I
like-
feel strongly that we have to get married under dinosaurs. And Kylen loves dinosaurs, so he was like, oh yeah, we should totally do that. And like
Like a dude just like, dinosaurs.
Yeah, we like integrated all of these really like unique approaches. And while we were planning it, we didn't really tell anybody details about it, which I think was quietly frustrating everybody, low key. But it was just because it sounds on paper truly insane and really gaudy. And then the execution was actually really strong.
It was like Vogue, like chic.
It was chic, yeah.
Yes.
And so like
I'm not like people are probably thinking in their head like you got married under dinosaurs. Like, was your dress camo or like what?
It was giant flowers actually, which also like when you describe it on paper, like please go to my Instagram and look at it.
Yeah.
But when you describe it on paper, it's like, yeah, I got married covered in flowers. My husband wore a cape. We were under dinosaurs. Our aisle was designed to be a mirror that looked like a river. And our bridesmaids and groomsmen were in rainbow colors behind us in an arc. Like that sounds terrible when you describe it to people. And all the guests wore all black. All of that sounds deranged and really bad. And so I was like, I'm not telling anybody. Like they're just going to have to see it when they get there. And then they'll be like, amazing. And the only clue I gave was like our invites came with like an excavation kit made of ground up graham crackers and then chocolate dinosaurs in with like a brush. So you would brush it in. So everyone got that and they were like, like I wonder like what the hell the vibe of this thing is gonna be.
You're like,
what is this? And then they got there and we're like, oh my God, dinosaurs.
So crazy. How did you guys decide where to get married? Because you guys are from two different places.
Yeah, so we decided Chicago because I love Chicago. I think it's one of the great American cities. We were still in Indianapolis and like I just didn't really see myself in any of the indie venues because like they have some beautiful venues there. So I don't want to catch any heat from the Midwest about that. But like they have like a lot of really cool rural ones and like a barn, which is very popular in Austin too. So I didn't want to do that because I feel like I've been to a million barn weddings. And then they have some beautiful cathedrals, but neither of us are religious, so that didn't feel right either.
Right.
I just wanted a venue that reflected us as a couple, and I feel like we have a really unique
You guys are
vibe.
unique, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Thank
oh my gosh.
you.
I think when I think about like the dinosaurs, I'm like, yeah, on paper it sounds like, wait, what's the vision? And then you see the picture, you're like, oh, it's like chic, like unique. Like it was vibey.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a little editorial, like a little.
Yes, editorial. That's the word I'm kind of looking for.
Yeah.
Well, I have to take a second because you mentioned that your guests were in all black.
Mm-hmm.
How do people feel about being told what they can and can't wear as a wedding guest? Because
they usually hate it.
color schemes, like I feel like I tried to like give a color scheme because I'm like, oh, these
your
are my
wedding was really beautiful and cohesive.
Except for the few people that wore like bright ass colors. I'm like, okay, you know, you just have to like match the vision. Just because I'm like, these are my wedding photos. Like
exactly.
If your bright orange dress is next to all of my beiges and greens and blues, like you're gonna look like the main character. But I want to know, like, did you have any guests be like, no?
No, I didn't, luckily, and I was worried. Like, I gave on our wedding website, I gave like a Pinterest kind of guide with pictures.
That's smart.
To be like, this is what I want you to look like. Like, I don't want you to just wear black with white under it. I want you to be in like monochromatic black.
Yes.
And I thought people were gonna push back on that and be like, this is like a funeral vibe. But actually, everyone was down with it because everyone owns black.
R.I.P. to the dinosaurs.
No, exactly. It kind of is, yeah. But everyone was cool with it because they're like, oh, I have a great black dress, or like, and all the guys were like, oh, that's so easy. Like, I can do it.
Everybody owns black.
Yeah.
Like everybody owns something black for the funeral. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's true. And then from like a color theory standpoint, Kylen and I were both in white. So like we have all these awesome aerial pictures from our wedding and you can see the bridal party because they're all in their own distinct color. And then we're in white. So even from really far away, you can be like, oh, there's Ryan, there's Tiva, there's Cairo. You can see who's like important to us in the wedding party. And then his parents wore like navy as like a half step between the bright colors and the black. And mine wore like a deep maroon. So it's like, you know, mother of the bride is usually supposed to be pink. Mother of the groom is supposed to be blue.
I did not know
kind
that.
of played on that. It's like really old. No one actually does it anymore, but it's like the old school way. So we did a little half step there.
I think my mom did wear pink.
Well,
I wonder
there
if
you
she
go.
did that on
She
purpose.
might know. I feel like it's more of an older generation thing for sure.
Okay, that's good to know. No, I always thought like whenever I see it on TikTok, people always get backlash for asking their guests to wear a certain like color or something.
Yeah,
like it's not your day.
I know. Well, and also it's because like people had to travel out too. So then people feel like I've already invested enough in this freaking wedding, which I completely get that. So I tried like our welcome party. We had like a yacht that went through Chicago because like the architecture tours for Chicago on a boat are super cool. And that was like my inspiration for that. And most of our guests had never been to Chicago. So it was like an amazing way to see the city for the first time. So I tried to like sort of be like, dangle a carrot like, hey, there's other fun stuff too, not just our wedding. Like you're gonna have so much fun.
Well, in Chicago, I feel like it's a city that that people would travel to otherwise. Like, it's a city. It's like similar to New York in a way. Like, it's a Midwest New York.
Yeah.
So it's like there's things to do. There's free things to do. So
there's a lot of really cool free art museums in Chicago and stuff. Like, you really get to like see Chicago when you go there for like a very low barrier of entry once you're there.
Perfect. It was lovely.
So everyone had a great time.
Yeah. Everyone, you're like, yeah, the dinosaurs, everybody, it was great.
It was great.
I literally, when I saw the photos, I was like, this makes so much sense. And I was like, I love seeing weddings that are the people and like how they, like, it reflects them and their personalities.
Me too.
I feel like weddings can be so like,
one size fits all.
yeah. Like we had a fuck ton of tequila at our wedding. I'm like, yeah, because that makes sense. Like I was going to like to party. Well, now we're parents. I'm like, back in the day. So you guys got married in 2024.
2025. We got engaged in 2024.
So did you guys get married during the free agency process?
Yeah, which was so freaking stressful, actually. It was so stressful. Like, we got married, we did a mini moon right after, and then, like, we had to go straight to Philly. Because, like, we still have to do our honeymoon. Kylen thought we weren't getting any honeymoon at all until the season was over because we were doing negotiations, like, the week before our wedding, which was so stressful. Yeah, it was so stressful. And then, you know, we had our wedding and I surprised him with a mini moon in Colorado, like off the grid in a little cabin so we could sort of like decompress, which I'm so glad we did that. And then we went right to Philly.
I'm sure it was like a breath of fresh. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
Wedding's done, like we can relax. It's like
it really takes it out of you. Like I was so like shocked at how badly like my feet hurt and how tired I was. Like it really takes everything out of you emotionally.
I just feel like there's also so much going on in your brain that you're like, oh, I still have to do this. Okay, I still have to do this. And then once the wedding's over, it's like, wait, there's a lot of space in my mind.
Finally be free.
For just like thinking. How many people were at your wedding?
We had like 208 people there.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so we had like a big wedding.
And for a destination.
I know. I can't believe so many people showed up. Really,
I don't even know 200 people.
It was because our families are huge. Like I come from like a big Italian family, so there's like 1 million of them. It's like rabbits, and so that was like half the guest list right there. And then Kylen's family lives like an hour outside of Chicago, so they were all super easy to get in, which was like great. So it was mainly my family that had to fly in and my friends. Like one of my bridesmaids had to fly in from South Africa and her flight got delayed like 3 different times and she was like, get me there. And so she rolled in like an hour before the wedding, got her glam done super fast and was there.
Oh my God, tragic.
I know. She took a bus, a train, a plane, and then like one of those little pedicabs to finally get there. Oh my God.
Wait, to have a friend that cares that much, like to do all those things.
Cairo's
like,
so real.
What is it? It's like bring back inconveniencing yourself.
For the community.
For to be a villager. Like
yes.
I think I fully like think that this generation has gotten a little soft in like making excuses for like, oh, like my mental capacity is not there. So like
I think it's post-COVID. I think COVID really has like overreaching like ripple effects that people haven't even noticed like are necessarily a result of that.
Yeah, I'm like bailing is like actually rude.
It is actually rude. Right? And like I would so much rather someone be like, honestly, I'm kind of in like a hermit mode. I don't want to come. I would much rather somebody just say that than like not show up and then I'm already there and I'm like, I guess I'm having lunch by myself.
Yeah, like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Like, you know
I would have stayed home.
Not today. And you're like, okay, can you at least tell me why? Like,
tell me like the day before. Like, honestly, I don't feel like leaving my house.
This podcast is brought to you in part by Stash. What if you could start investing without ever picking a single stock? With Stash, the experts handle the hard part for you. Stash isn't just another investing app. It's a registered investment advisor that combines automated investing with expert guidance so you don't have to worry about figuring it out on your own. You can choose from personalized investments or let Stash's award-winning smart portfolio do the work for you. So with Stash, investing doesn't feel like gambling. It's simple, smart, and stress-free, so your money can finally start working as hard as you do. Get access to world-class financial advice with personalized guidance for just $3 monthly subscription. Stash has already helped millions of Americans reach their financial goals. Don't let your money sit around. Put it to work with Stash. Go to get.stash.com/SSC to see how you can receive $25 towards your first stock purchase and to view important disclosures. That's get.stash.com/SSC. Paid non-client endorsement, not representative of all clients and not a guarantee. today. Investment advisory services offered by Stash Investments, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investing involves risk. Offer is subject to T&Cs. We spend a lot of time on our mattresses, and you know who spends more time on their mattress these days? I mean, besides me, because I am pregnant, my daughter. Because think of how many naps your child takes in the first few years and just how much sleep they're getting on their mattress. So I want to take a second to talk about Avocado Green Mattresses because they are made using premium organic materials. So think GOLS certified organic latex and GOTS certified organic cotton and wool. It delivers luxury, performance, and durability. And this impressive lineup of certifications sets their mattress apart, ensuring the highest health and safety standards for infants, toddlers, and kids. Avocado mattresses are Green Guard Gold certified for low emissions and Made Safe certified non-toxic. They also are supportive for growing bodies. I mean, my daughter is growing at a rapid speed, and these mattresses are soft and comfy, yet so supportive to adapt to various sleeping positions and body types, supporting overall physical development. With code Sunday, you'll save an extra $25 on Crib and Kids Mattresses on top of their holiday sale. That's an extra $25 off their current sale at avocadogreenmattress.com with the code Sunday. Avocado, dream of better. Back to the free agency. So was that stressful and like finding out what location, or was it kind of like exciting in a way?
I think Kylen was excited about it. I was stressed about it just because like the Colts had like such like a tumultuous few years, and so I didn't know how that would like be impacting us necessarily.
Right.
And Kylen was like cool, calm, and collected the whole time. It was really just me being like, oh my God, like what's gonna happen? Where are we gonna go? And then having to hold it in because I'm like, I'm not trying to infect him with my anxiety. You know? So it was just his mom calling me and us both being worriers and being like, okay, we got to get it out over here. Let's go on a walk so that we don't stress him out, you know? And then he was fine. Like his agency is good. So like he was chilling the whole time, and he had like 3 really cool offers that we had to decide between. So once those came across the table, and they did come in pretty fast, I was like, okay, I can relax. It was really like the first like day I was like, what's going to happen?
You really don't like, I feel like even with the NFL draft, like some, like if you're in the first round, you kind of have an idea of like where you're going to fall. But like when it comes to free agency, like you kind of have an idea of like what teams are going to be interested, but like you still don't really know.
Yeah, you don't know for sure. And it's also like constantly shifting because like you might get one offer in 1 hour, and then the next hour they're like, oh, actually we signed this other guy. Sorry, it's off the table now. And then a new one comes in like, we were going to sign this guy, but now we're not. Like, what do you think? And so it's just like so many things happening at once. It's like super overstimulating.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. And it's like you have to make a quick decision. It's like not just like an easy decision. It's like, oh, this is my entire life.
Yeah, it's like life altering. There's like a ton of money to factor in. Then you have to also think about like the taxes and stuff. Like, okay, they're saying it's this much, but based on the location, it's actually this much. And then how long are we going to be there? And like, what would it cost for us to get a house versus like an apartment? Like there's just so many factors that you have to weigh like immediately before the window closes on the opportunity.
It's almost like you have to like create a list before free agency. Like, here are the teams. What teams rank ahead of other teams?
Yeah.
But then like, for example, like Kansas City could be like, oh, we're offering you $10 million for 2 years or whatever. And then you could have, I don't know, what's a team? Green Bay, who's offering you $12 million for 2 years. And you're like, okay, what are the taxes amongst the two? What is like, is one cooler than the other? Like, how is the team doing? Because like also you get money for playing in playoffs and just the experience of going to a Super Bowl. And then you're like, but how is it to live in Kansas versus like,
you have to weigh so much, and you have to be like, how is this team going to impact like my next contract? Like, is the team like, maybe this is a lot of money, but like the team's not doing that well. So like, then maybe I won't get more money later. So should I take less money now and get more money in the long run? Or should I do more money now and then just not sign another contract? Like you have to think about all these things.
And coaches, like certain coaches like you might vibe with versus like you might not, or like knowing somebody on the team could be a huge difference. Even when Isaac got drafted to the Chargers, because he got drafted in the 7th round, he got he technically made less money than people who were undrafted going to teams with better taxes.
Right, exactly.
Because California is like
so expensive.
So he literally was like, as long as I don't go to California or New York, like we're good.
Yeah.
Literally, because I don't know if people know this, but you get taxed in the city that you play in.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're playing in Las Vegas, like you're getting taxes if you're a Las Vegas resident, but just for that game. It's so interesting.
It is really interesting. And so, yeah, I think every player is like quietly like, oh my gosh, like New York and LA, like the like trade-off.
Don't want to do that.
No, they don't. And like, but the trade-off is like so much visibility. And so it's like for some guys, it makes more sense than others, where it's like, it could put me on the map. If I'm only doing 1 year here, like maybe that's worth it. So like, there's just so many, it's like such a case-by-case basis.
The Buffalo Bills always make me sad because you're getting taxed as like a New York resident.
I know.
But you live in Buffalo.
I know.
No offense to the Buffalo people. Because
my cousins are big Buffalo fans. Sorry, guys, but that is like a factor for sure that you have to weigh.
it's brutal.
Yeah.
But then you have to think about the fan base. It's like, it's so much fun to play for a fun fan base.
Yeah, that's what I love about like the Eagles. I know everyone's afraid of the Eagles fans, but like I saw like 6 Eagle fans like this morning at my hotel.
There's an Eagles bar like literally down the street from my house.
I'm telling you, they show up to everything, and like that's like been the biggest difference. Is like Indy is so much more of like a boutique team. Like it's still like building itself. It's still figuring out its team identity, especially because like Irsay died. Rest in peace, Irsay. But you know, it's like it's such a different energy to go from like being in the Midwest and having a team that's like building and trying to figure out their identity and where they're going and like what they want to do, and then going to Philly, which has been like leading the league for the last few years, and like the fan base is like super invested emotionally. Like it's such like a big difference.
A huge difference, because it's almost like, I don't know, no offense to the teams, because my husband did play for the Colts and he did play for the Browns, which are objectively like teams that have losing records. No offense. But it is fun going to a team that like has like, you're not counted out before the season begins.
Yeah.
You're probably going to go to playoffs.
Yeah, and I think it was great for us to like start with the Colts because like they were very hands-on and like it was super tight-knit, and so like it was a great introduction to the league, and so I'll always feel grateful for that. And I'm still friends with all of the girls on the team, and there's so many amazing like guys playing for the team, and they're doing so well this year. I'm so happy for them. No. I've been texting all of them this year and being like, you guys are doing so good.
I was talking to Emma Kelly about this. I was like, how do you feel about them doing good now?
Yeah, I know. It was funny because like Kylen and
the quarterback
Will,
got hurt last night.
Wait, did he?
Yes, he's out for the season.
He's out for this. Oh my God, that's terrible.
I think it's actually his ACL.
Oh my gosh, maybe I can help him. Yeah, but like that's so terrible.
Like, contact my people.
Oh, like that's devastating. But no, it was funny because like Izzy, like she also went to the Vikings with Emily. Or with Emma, not Emily. Sorry, my best friend's name's Emily. Sorry, Emma. But so after the game, like Kylen and Will were talking about it, and they're like, "I'm so happy for the Colts, but like, of course, it has to be right after we left." Like,
I know, right? Oh my God, that shit pissed me off. I'd be like, of course that's gonna happen. But
I'm happy for them though. I'm like, when I visited to like see my dad's living in our house there this year, so I went to go hang out with my dad, and I saw some of the girls while I was there, and like I got to see Ayana, like Jonathan's wife, and like I was like, how good does Jonathan feel right now? And she's like, he feels great, and I was so happy for them.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm like, no, I'm petty. I'm like, no, actually, like I don't want the Colts to do well. No, actually, I don't have a team now that I'm like, oh, it would piss me off if they did well. Well, probably because we're so far out from it that it like obviously wouldn't matter. But from the Colts to the Eagles, what was the biggest adjustment for you personally?
I would feel like the biggest adjustment is like being on the East Coast, like the energy of the East Coast. And like, I'm an East Coast girl at heart, so I was like excited about that. I was like, Kylen, you're finally going to live in a real city. And he was like, I've lived in Dallas and Austin. I've been in a real city. And I was like, no, it's not the same as like an East Coast city. Like you don't understand what public transport does to a city. Like it's completely different. And I love Dallas and Austin too, but like it is totally different.
Yeah.
So like that's like the city in of itself is like a main character in that way. And then also like the girls are just very different. And I wouldn't say like one is better than the other. It's just like a totally different vibe. Because in Indy, the girls are a lot more like, you know, focused on like their kids and their family, and like the Bible study is like really popular. And then Philly, everyone's like all over the place doing like totally different things. And so it's like, it's just interesting. Like it's such a different dynamic.
It is, and I think it's almost more interesting that like somehow the teams like get the players to like match the city.
Yeah,
in a
they
way,
really
right?
do somehow, you know?
Because when we were in Indiana, I was like, oh, I don't know about like living in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I
Like,
wasn't sold on it. And then I got there and I actually like did end up really liking it and like carved out my space there. And
Yeah.
like Kylen was born in Indiana, so he had for years been like, one day we're gonna move to Indiana, and I'd be like, no, we're not.
you guys lived closer to like what was like when I
Yeah.
say middle of nowhere, I don't think Indianapolis is the middle of nowhere. I actually lived like
Yeah, you
where
lived
they had
far
training
out.
camp.
Yeah,
like
you
that
lived
was the middle of nowhere. Well,
Yeah,
now
you were
it
by the
probably isn't.
cornfields.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, literally, there were cornfields. Like,
Yeah.
I would go through the cornfields on my walks. But
Yeah, we were more downtown, so like we were a little bit more like in the center of things.
Yeah.
And so I ended up actually really liking the balance. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it's somewhere that I would ever like decide to retire in, but like
Right.
I feel like we ended up having like a great experience there. You know,
Yes.
which is all I was worried about going in, where I was like, man, I hope that like I don't feel like too much of like an outsider here, because like I have kind of a harsh personality. Like I don't know how that's gonna like translate.
Well, it's all, like me even moving from California to Indiana, which I'm a Midwest girl at heart. Like I'm born and raised in Michigan, so. But after the 4 years of California, I was like, I feel like different, and I don't know that I fit here anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was like most worried about. And then I did sort of breathe a sigh of relief once I like met all of the girls, where I was like, okay, like actually everyone is lovely. Like this is going to be totally fine. But
Yeah.
like that was the thing I was most worried about, was like, am I going to be able to find like people here that like I can hang out with and relate to, really?
For sure.
You know?
Relating to the, like, whenever people ask, like, oh, do you get along with everybody on the team? It's like, well, you don't get along with everybody in the world. So, like,
Yeah.
why would it be different, like, with your husband's job? Like, there are people you're going to gravitate towards and people you're not
course.
going to gravitate towards just because of, like you're not going to hang out every single day with somebody who has, like, 5 kids.
Yeah, exactly. Just because it's a totally different phase of life. You know what I
You're like,
mean?
no,
Like I love my friends with kids and I love hanging out with their
Yes.
kids, but we're objectively doing very different things right now.
You're like, I'm literally writing a patent
Yeah.
right now. You're like, no. Is there anything that has surprised you about Philly?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I think like honestly, Philly gets a bad rep for like everyone being really mean for some reason.
I think if you're outside of the club, like, they hate you.
Yeah, that's for sure. Definitely
part of the club
it.
now.
I'm part of the club. Everyone's been really friendly and really great. And I do love like the people of Philadelphia. I feel like Philly's got like a little grit. It's got a little chip
Yeah.
on its shoulder. And like, that's my kind of city. Like,
Like,
I
I
love
actually
it.
kinda
I'm like,
love
yeah,
it.
I love the moxie.
Yeah, I feel like you guys actually fit in Philly well.
I think so too. I love Philly.
I think the only team that I would say like you might fit better would be like a team in New York, just because it's like so much history and art and like architectural
Yeah,
and like
and I've lived there for like years also. So I would be
Yeah.
like, we can go back to my old apartment.
literally. I remember when Isaac was looking at like a team in New York, and I was like, oh, you would have to commute an hour every day to work because
Yeah.
I would have to live in the city.
Yeah.
Like I have to get this one win.
You're very Upper East.
right.
You're
I'm
very
like,
Upper
put
East,
me in the
Allison.
Upper East or like somewhere. I
At
don't
least
even-
Upper West.
Yeah, like somewhere up. Like, yeah.
Sorry, I'm up.
Like the only reason I know that it's because of Gossip Girl, which is
I'm
just like
dead.
says a lot about me. What has helped you feel stable when the NFL is like anything but stable?
Oh, definitely Kylen. He's like such like a rock of a person in general. Like, and I feel like I'm very like up in the air always. Like I'm very like flighty and sort of like dreamy and doing like bouncing from thing to thing. And Kylen's like so incredibly stable and grounded. And I am glad that he's not like he's such like a homebody. So when he comes from home from work, like we really just get to hang out. So I feel like I don't have like that sort of like his career is so intense and like I'm missing him all the time, even though he travels a lot. You know?
Yeah.
It feels like we spent so much time together.
And like when he's home, it's just like normal. And
Yeah,
he's
it's just
home
normal.
And like
We never talk about football outside of football unless it's like the off season, because he's like, I've spent all day doing that. Like that's kind of the last thing I want to do right now. Like I already watched all my film. Like he does everything before he comes home. So once
Yeah.
he's home, he's like fully like off the clock and just home.
my husband and your husband are so different.
Most
Like-
people's husbands come home and it's still football.
Well, no,
football.
it's not even that. I think Isaac like worries about like 5 steps forward, and it sounds like Kylen's just like, no, like
He's like, we're
hanging
doing
out.
it. Like Kylen is a worrier in like a very like contained way. Like he'll give himself like 20 minutes to be like, all right, I got to do these next 50 things. And he'll like make a little list and get it done. Like he's super like well regulated and
Wow.
I'm not. So it's a very important balance to me.
Like, did he go to therapy? Like,
He's gone to therapy before. He had a good therapist, but I think he's just like that. Like, he's just always been super grounded, and like I have like so many mental health problems and I'm not very well regulated. And like over the last 7 years, Kylen's really helped me like chill out, like really
That's
like
so
calm
nice.
down.
Maybe I need to help Isaac calm down. I'm like, you don't need to be stressed about like what's happening in 5 months. Like we'll figure it out. Like, why are you, what is it? Like stress is like the thief of
joy.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's whatever. I'm like, he needs to relax. Isaac, if you're listening, you need to relax. What are you most proud of yourself for in this chapter of your life?
I think I'm most proud of myself for like my adaptability. I feel like honestly, like getting into the NFL world kind of felt like getting hit by like a train.
It's a lot. No, literally, it's like a lot.
Yeah, it took me like a year and a half to like finally like understand like, oh, this is the training schedule. This is what off season looks like. This is what this is. This
OTAs,
is what
like your life
OTAs.
revolves around football year round.
Yeah, year round. Like it's not just during the football season. So it took me like a while, especially because I'm like more of an anxiously attached person, to kind of be like, okay, yeah, like this is what's gonna happen. So like it's fine. Like I know what that feels like now. It's okay. You know?
Mm-hmm. I think that like the adaptability in the NFL is like very important. Like if you want to be happy in like every phase throughout the NFL, because it's a lot. And it'll like actually like eat you up, chew you, and then spit you out.
No, for sure. It's I always tell people like the lifestyle of the NFL and the relationship model within the NFL is like definitely not for the faint of heart. Like you really have to be like super connected and like have really high trust and feel like okay all the time, and especially because like there's the injuries, there's all this other stuff that factor in, so like you have to be able to like kind of ground yourself, which is like not something I've historically been good at before this chapter of my life, and so I feel like it really helped me. It like forced me to do it,
which is such a game changer. Before we jump into some rapid fire questions, what are you looking forward to next in your like in this next phase of life? Like you're married, you guys are living in Philly.
I think I'm looking forward to like I'm doing a lot of interesting career stuff right now for the next year, and then we're like talking about maybe considering discussing like getting pregnant sometime next year, and that would be really fun for me.
A huge game changer.
It's a huge thing. It affects like every area of your life. So like we're trying to get everything set up. We're gonna sell our house in Indy this off season, and then figure out where we want our new off season house. I'm getting dual citizenship in Italy right now because I'm Italian.
So many interesting things.
There's a lot of things going on right now. So like I'm excited. There's like
I'm
so
worried
many
about
cool things.
this with Italy. So like a kid can wait, okay?
Yeah, I'm like I gotta make sure my Italian's high enough that like we can do one parent, one language, and then like figure out if we want to get a house there and like do all of that stuff.
Maybe your off-season house will be in Italy.
I've been trying to sell that idea where I'm like, there's some cool ones.
Right.
Think about it.
You're like,
just think about it.
A lot of
We could get one with the gym. You could train over there. Your dad's your trainer. We could just bring him.
Right? You're like, just think about it.
Just think about it.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. Let's jump into some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
College football Saturdays or NFL Sundays?
NFL Sundays. Yeah.
Game day fits or comfy casual?
I like the game day fits. Yeah.
I respect that. Philly fans or Indy fans?
Philly fans.
You have to say that now, okay?
I would say it anyway.
Yeah. You're like, I don't care. Home games or away games?
Home games. Home games.
Sideline seats or suite?
Ooh, I'm like almost never in a suite, but I do love a suite on the low.
Like, honestly, like
it's so comfy.
Like
the
I do
chairs are so comfy.
Like watching on TV anyways, so it's like there's a TV in the suite and like you're still there. I don't know. Coaching your kids' team or cheering from the sidelines?
Oh, I think I'm more of a cheer from the sidelines.
Kelsey brothers or Manning brothers?
Kelsey brothers.
Celebrating a win with the team or celebrating alone with Kylen?
Celebrating alone, for sure. We're way more like at home celebrate kind of people.
Are you guys not like go out to dinner and celebrate?
No, we're like, let's go home and get a pizza and watch some anime.
Oh my God. I'm like, bring me to a steakhouse and then like medium rare, a glass of red wine, maybe a bottle, and I don't know.
We'll do that when people visit, but when
Yeah.
it's just us, I'm like, let's just go home.
You're way more low key. I'm like, I'm so low maintenance, but here I am asking for medium rare. No, I'm kidding. And then where can the people find you on social media?
You can find me on TikTok at Daisy Foko, on Insta at Days Foko, just drop the Y, and then YouTube is also Daisy Foko.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you next Sunday.